Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Maryland Jockey Club at Laurel Park for a Saturday edition of Today at the Races. I'm Dan Ullman along with Keith Fustel. Nice 9-race program here, Keith, even though we had some wet weather yesterday. Good feature race number 8 with some intriguing storylines.
Yeah, obviously Otello coming in, making the first start here for Miguel Clement. Unfortunate the news last week with the passing of his father, but we'll see how that goes. But that is a highly competitive group. He might have a little bit of an edge from a speed standpoint. Not a lot of speed signed on in the feature, but looking forward to that. Unfortunately, you talked about we had some pretty strong rains here last night, and we've dealt with it for the last couple days, so we're off the turf today. Main track, phenomenal job by our track crew. Looking good right now. We might even get to fast a little bit later in this card, Dan. Some breezes kicked up here, and hopefully we're going to keep our fingers crossed for tomorrow to get back on the lawn. And
looking forward not only to our 9-race card, but at Churchill Downs, we've got a graded stakes race later on of interest because the Maryland-bred superstar Post Time is in, and he's facing Kentucky Derby winner Mystic Dan and a very strong supporting cast in the Grade 3 Blame.
Yeah, we saw the blinkers go on him last time. I mean, the Fig wasn't, I think that was the prep to kind of get him familiar, racing with the blinkers. Did what he was supposed to do against that field, steps it up a notch here. We'll take plenty of play, though, down there.
Speaking of Laurel Park's action, Charm City Pick 5's in full swing. Still time to sign up. Register by June the 1st. The Charm City Pick 5. Basically a pick and pray handicapping contest each racing day at Laurel Park on the last 5 races. Our late value Pick 5. Pick the winner. If your top pick sweeps the Pick 5, you get a $1,000 grand prize. We've already had a grand prize winner.
We've had one of those, and hopefully they played it live as well. That was a pretty good payoff that day. I believe it was over $3,000. You don't want to miss a day in this. You're accumulating your action, so get involved early and every day.
Highest cumulative total wins the grand prize at the end of the Laurel Park meet. Let's take a look at those weather conditions. Boy, the wind was howling last night, and it was raining. The main track is good. They've really done a really nice job on this track. Praise to the track superintendent and the crew. Off the turf today. Nice day, though. 67 degrees, cloudy, sun peeking out.
Yeah, we're going to need those winds to kick just a little bit, 13, 15 miles an hour. That will work. And, again, we're going to keep you posted. You might have even a call later today about tomorrow's racing, get you a jump start on your handicapping. Actually, let's go on this card.
Race number 1, we are off the turf, and we're now at 1 mile.
Yes.
It is a claiming race, 40 down to 32, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races, or 3-year-olds. Take out the 1, the 3, the 4, the 6, the 10, and the 11. It is the first leg of the first of two value pick 5 wagers. Low takeout, 12%, 50-cent minimum. One of the best bets, if not the outright best bet in the business.
Yeah, get involved, please. This low takeout, and we've got some good payouts. Even Monday, going back, and I took a real quick peek before we got on air about the results. Late pick 5 was over 500. We did not have any huge prices. I think we had a $10 winner. It was very logical, a $13 logical, and then a couple $3, $4 horses. I mean, it was a very good payout. That's why you've got the low takeout. I've got a $36 ticket. Yes, these races are off the turf, some of them today, but still doesn't make it any really easier. I would have tried to make this a little bit more cost effective. I gotta go $36 in here. Race 1, I still think is a tough race to get started. Wine Collector, I think it's going to take a ton of play. I go 7, 8, 9 Passion. Could be interesting here for Nixon. Race 2 with the 3 and the 7 Neolithica anonymously. Race 3 with the 2, 3, and 7. Intriguing first-time starter here for Men's Grill Racing and Jerry Robb in Wonderkind. I'm going to see what kind of action this horse takes. Working forwardly. Love the mare. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Race 4, 2 and the 5, the Wolfman. I think his speed could be dangerous here with a clean break. And race 5, we wrap it up with the 3 and the 4, Percy, Uncle Gray from my man Tim Vick. $36.
Well, let's start things off with your top selection in race number 1, and that's the 7 Wine Collector. And I just think if Wine Collector breaks, he's likely the main speed in this race. His race 2 starts back at Penn National was at a 2-turn mile. He didn't get to the lead. It just seemed like in the early portion of that race, he wasn't handling that surface. I think getting back home to Laurel Park, getting on the lead, he'll have an opportunity to show his best.
That 3-back try, you say the last time he raced on the Laurel Main track, it was good. Up on the lead. Yeah, they weren't going terribly fast, but gave way grudgingly against, I think, a little bit better group. I mean, Passion comes out of a race against John Cena, but I think, he's going to be put into the race early, and he stays the trip.
Now I'm going with the Stone Closer in here. That's the number 8, My Imagination, a horse that's won on a wet track in the past. This is a horse who might be racing himself back in his shape, his 3rd start off of a short layoff. He doesn't have the greatest dirt record. He's 2 for 21, but if you look at a speed figure standpoint, 70 buyer against 50,000 optionals at Parks, and that race at Penn National 3 starts back was just in a complete fog and was outrun and kicked on a bit in the stretch. I'm hoping for a little bit of hitting, and maybe this long stretch works for My Imagination.
I agree. Ran pretty well. Had a little adversity early. Bounced around the first turn wide with a run. I thought finished up pretty good. This horse has been facing some heavy heads too. Needs to be in a condition claimer on the dirt.
Passioned is the number 9. Talk about tough competition. He was in the 2nd leg of the Canadian Triple Crown last year, the Prince of Wales, and he acquitted himself quite well, finishing 4th. Now, after that race, he needed some time. He had 1 start. It was not a great performance. Another layoff here. From a class standpoint, he's getting a drop, and that might be all the doctor ordered.
And he doesn't get a big drop, so maybe it's just a little bit of confidence here that they're kind of hanging around a 40 down to 32 level in for the 32 tag. Put together like 4 pretty solid races in a row. Let's see if he can get back to form. I think his speed against this group is going to play.
What do you make of God'll Be Proud, the number 2, a horse coming into this race off a win on the turf at Pimlico for Tim Keith? He has decent dirt form. They stretched him out, and he really seemed to have improved. If you look back at his recent dirt races, 6 furlongs, just way too short. I think at this point in his career, I think a mile will work for him.
Oh, and he beat me last time on the wire. That was a brutal trip. He was stalled in traffic, and that might have worked to his advantage because he's made some runs earlier in the races, maybe leading to mid-stretch and just kind of flattening out. Almost fooled him a little bit. Let's see if he can get some cover today and finish.
A couple of nice back classers in race number 1. Keith's going 7, 9, 8, and 2. I'm going 8, 2, 7, and 5. Race number 2, 3/4 of a mile. It's one of those starter optional claiming races. Take out the number 6, Love to Eat. It is the first leg of our 50-cent pick 4 wager, our early 50-cent pick 4 wager. The prices have been good recently, and the payouts have been good in our 50-cent pick 4, so you certainly want to keep that in mind. Your top selection in here is Anonymously, another horse with a good amount of back class. And what I like most about Anonymously is the horse's tactical speed, and this is a great attack outside post position.
Yeah, and I like the fact this track now is kind of rated good. Yeah, in the past she struggled a little bit on the sloppy surfaces. Recently she's done okay. I think this is going to play beautifully for her. Now she's going to have to go out and spy Neolithica. She's shown a little bit more speed recently in some of her dirt races. Last time out, just annihilated no chance with that run into the turn. I like her back in the Corrales barn. We're going to go back to a race, though, a couple races back on the page on March the 30th. Thank you, guys. This is good. Lady Zeta in good form. She came back to win the other day. Waterloo at Delaware. Waterloo Rose, another one, was holding pretty good form, but she makes this run ground saving all the way. Just can't get up, but all in all, I thought a pretty good effort.
Yeah, very nice ride. Has a chance here turning for home after cutting the corner, and this is what Anonymously does. She runs every single time. She has hit the board in her last 7 dirt appearances. You mentioned the trip on turf last time out. This horse has one going turf to dirt in the past. Jose Corrales off the reclaim. I always think that's a pretty powerful angle, and we do have a trainer stat for Jose. First after the claim, 7 for the last 33, 21%, a 363 ROI, so Anonymously ticks a lot of boxes. But you also mentioned a horse in razor sharp form, and that is the number 3, Neolithica. This horse makes her first start off of the claim. She was a powerhouse winner at Pimlico going 3/4.
Visually just dominated last time out, was outside of rivals, confidently handled, leaving the 3/8 and just moved away powerfully. I thought visually the strongest race of her career. She's back now off the claim. For Kieran McGee, we've talked about him ad nauseum, off the claim, especially with the fillies and mares. He's done phenomenal. Now, and she likes a little bit of moisture in the track. Will anybody pressure her? Do you think the one opposite the crowd will possibly go? Will a horse like Spanish Delight go? I'm going to need a little bit of help, I think, because if she clears off early, I think it could be lights out.
I do think you have two things going for you. One is the one opposite the crowd, a horse that should show some speed, and two, Anonymously, is a horse that I think can adapt to any kind of race flow. I think if they go fast, she won't be too far out of it. She'll be in a good position, a prime position. We'll find out a little bit more about Neolithica's overall quality. She's won 2 out of her last 3. This is a little bit of a step up in class, in my opinion, but she is in very, very good form. Spanish Delight is the number 5. First time Mike Giralis. We do have a trainer stat for this barn. First after the trainer switch, 4 for the last 14, limited positive, 29%, a 269 return on investment. This girl finished ahead of 2 next out winners in her most recent race at Tampa Bay, and she showed good positional speed in there. So maybe she'll go out and try to push Neolithica early.
Yeah, she's got some bigger figures. You go back Prairie Meadows, Fandle Racing down there, Fairmount Park. But all in all, this mare's tough, and you show that stat. Mike does great work. I think she's going to be into the race early. She shows on the go back on her races. She can handle a little bit of a tussle out there on the front end. She works for me in here. I think I can do it. It's kind of a horse with the moisture in the racetrack. Last time I pulled the upset at 19-1. I was a little bit surprised that she got away at that kind of price. Now she's going to have to come close to a top to beat these, but if everybody's got their eyes on the front trying to challenge Neolithica, she works from off the pace in here.
You can argue she's in career best form. You said a mouthful. She really appreciates a wet track, and she is just the prototypical closing sprinter. I think she'll get a fair pace. She might have to improve a bit, but you're going to get paid if you're right with I Can Do It. And I think Isabella's Glory off the class drop is interesting, especially if the pace is hot. Now, she has not done her best running on wet dirt in the past. Her last race, though, I just think she was way overmatched against Devil Pays in Gold in that second-level optional claimer. Her race 2 starts back, going the 1-turn mile. I don't mind her cutting back to 6. When she went route to sprint back in June, she was a winner from way out of it, and she looked good doing so.
Yeah, for Corrales, for Parham trying to kind of get her right. Again, I think she's going to need a lot of things to go right for her up on the front end because she's going to be well back, I would say, by mid-turn and see if she can ramp it up to get it done. But maybe one of those horses, again, when you're playing these races, hey, target a super, target a try in that 3rd and 4th spot with a horse like Isabella's Glory or a horse like I Can Do It.
Anonymously has hit the board in 29 of 52 lifetime starts. You have to respect that veteran 9-year-old mare. 7-3-4-5 for Keith. We'll see if Neolithica can carry her speed against this group off the Huron claim. 3-5-7-1. Race number 3, really interesting race. I realize it's off the turf, but it stayed pretty much intact. 5.5 furlongs on the main now. Maiden special weight fillies and mares. Take out the bookends. The 1 Juice, the 10 Mun Mun, can run. This is the first of our second Pick 4 wagers of the afternoon. We have 3 of them, 50-cent minimum wager. You talked about the interesting first-time starter in the race. That's the 2 Wunderkind by Tiz the Law, who's been an exciting young sire, winning with precocious types. Interesting that Jerry entered this horse on turf, considering Crab Cakes, and who doesn't love Crab Cakes here in Maryland, was really a dirt star. She ran well on turf, but she did most of her running on dirt. Boy, those last 2 workouts look strong.
They do. 4, I should say, in a row of the 5/8 of a mile works. Yeah, Crab Cake's really good. 9 for 17 there for Bernie Houghton. Multiple stakes winner. Second dam, 1 second out. Crab Cake's won early. I think won her first 3.
Yep.
I think there's a lot going for this one, a $67,000 purchase. You talked about Tiz the Law with the 3-year-old and up first-time starters. Now, it's not the hugest sample, but 38%, or 28%, I should say. Strong.
Overall, 10 for 34 first turf, but for the debut runners, 29%. Now that we're off the turf, no problem whatsoever. Wunderkind should show speed. Now breaking from the rail under the X-Man. Let's talk about Salty Senorita, another horse. This one trying dirt for the first time. This one goes out for Brittany Russell. Didn't break the best on turf at Churchill Downs, but was able to get into the race pretty quickly, pushed 3 wide. Got tired at the end, but was chasing a very fast pace. I think in this spot, Salty Senorita might be able to grab the front if Wunderkind isn't fast.
That's the key, right? The 2's going to have to be tied on from the inside. Maybe she can get position, our top selection, and stalk and move into it. But you're talking about another one, a filly by Speightstown. Okay, there is moisture in the racetrack. Moves her up that way. Looking at all the breeding, the second dam gallop, the main track, winning a maiden special weight, but it's kind of a hard read on this family. But you're going to trust in Brittany Russell. It's a great learning experience. I'm sure this one got a lot out of that race in that big field at Churchill Downs. A little bit better of a break. Yeah, she's going to be around a long time here in race 3.
The 6 Super Roll is an interesting first-time starter from Mike Trombett. I wonder if this one's ultimately going to want a little bit more ground than the 5.5 furlongs, being by Candy Ride out of Giant Cat's Eye, who was Grade 2 placed routing on the dirt, earned an 89 Beyer speed figure on the surface. But I do like this progression of workouts, several 5/8 of a mile drills to build up the stamina, then a half-mile gate blowout the other day.
Yeah, 2 of the 4 siblings did hit the board on debut. Yeah, I see a little bit longer down the road, but yeah, the breeding, just Candy Ride, you can get any kind out of there. I thought Anita Beer, the 7 horse who targeted, wanted the main track only, gets it today. I thought, pretty good recovery at Pimlico on that muddy surface last time out. A sharp veer out of the break, had to recover. Took to rating. Now, things got a little contentious into the turn, and then the winner was able to separate Danny's Rhythm, but I thought all in all finished up quite well to get the place there. Has that benefit, a couple races under her belt. You've got some chasers in here. I think this one will bring a finish.
And Anita Beer's last race came over a wet track. She showed improvement. She is improving day by day, it seems, by her past performance lines, and maybe she's put it all together. Again, you're right, entered main track only. This is what she's been waiting for, but we'll see what we get if we truly have a Wunderkind. 2-3-7-9 for Keith, 2-6-7-9 for me in race number 3. Race number 4, 3/4 of a mile on the dirt, one of those starter optional claimers, 3 and up, started for a claiming price of 8 or less in their last 3, or the open claimers 12.5 down to 10. Take out the 1 Minister for Magic, take out the 6 Midnight Renegade. This is the first leg in our 20-cent Chesapeake Pick 6 jackpot wager. If you're fortunate enough to pick the first place finisher in each of the final 6 races on the card, and you're the only one to do so, you get the jackpot.
Yeah, race 4. Again, scratch the 1 Minister for Magic and the 6 Midnight Renegade starters. 3/4. The break is going to be critical here. The Wolfman, my top selection. I was back and forth in this race, but looking at the speed scenario, Abuelo Papsia came back, got the job done. A slower internal was able to dictate. Now, I do think he can make a move from just off of it if need be, first off the claim for Frog. I like Pit Stop, man, but when the Wolfman is right, now he's in trouble 3 of the last 5 out of the gate. I think he's fast enough to clear off against this group. I really, really do.
I agree.
Back in the barn of Joanne Shankel. Let's see if he can pop the latches. Go coast to coast.
Again, here's that reclaim angle from 2 starts back. And again, he just never had a chance last time at Pimlico. He likes to be forward, and he missed the break. We're going to take a look at Pit Stop Man right now. And Pit Stop Man's coming into this race in pretty good form. The last race is not a throw. We'll get to that in a moment. But we're going to look at the race 2 starts back, Keith. And this horse tried really hard from off the pace.
Oh, yeah, put into it, caught 4 wide pretty much. all the way to the quarter pole. I've gotten a short comment, but makes this move to threaten in mid-stretch. Kept on trying to the wire, and you talked about the race, and I'll let you talk about the Penn National situation, but he's got positional speed. He can sit just off of it and if needed, and go ahead and move into and finish. He's a fighter, pit stop man. He's a user for me here in race number 4. I think if the 5 and 2 break cleanly, they're forward a long way.
Kieran Barnes been going very well recently between May 9th and May 26th, 6 for 25, a $2.41 return on investment. And again, this horse did attempt to start at Penn National last time out. That was a race where the gate just did not work properly. Bick didn't need much of a head start. He's such a good speed horse, but he got one anyway.
Yeah, he did.
And he went on to get to the front. Pit stop man was running at the end of that race. Tyler Connor, I think, realized what was going on right after the start and probably didn't get to the bottom of the well.
He actually got in a little bit of trouble, too. 8th pole, past the 8th pole, kind of had this
course,
steady, altered course out. And you talked about it. You picked it up on the gallop out, kept on going. Well, back to a track. He really likes Laurel. He's going to fit in just nicely here.
What about Big Daddy's Boy, maybe from off the pace in here? This is a horse that showed off a pretty strong late kick at Pimlico last time out in his first start off of the claim. Now he needs pace. And you're right. I think the Wolfman is the controlling speed in here, and he might not have to go fast to do so. So Big Daddy's Boy could use a little help.
Yeah, that's going to be the key here. If you're going to use him, he's going to need that duel to develop up front. I just don't quite see. I mean, I think he can be contested. But again, against this group, you get some horses that can go fast and finish in here. I think he's going to need the perfect setup, but he's another type of a horse. I think he can pick up a piece, work him around maybe in that 3rd and 4th spot.
Similar situation with My Mamba, a horse that just needs a little bit of pace, kicked on at the end, seems to be in good form, should be a good price, but it's all about pace and race luck. Abuelo Paps, on the other hand, seems way more tactical than some of these others. Just can work out his own trip, went right to the front last time out. Now, that was a muddy track. It was nice to see him get the win because he was 0 for 7 going in on a wet track. He looked good doing so. It was a race, though. Look at those fractions. Not going to get that here.
Yeah, Lopez did a great job. Popped out of there very clear early, 2-3 lengths clear. Just took a rating hold, and that was it. Put him to sleep and was able to finish up from there. When he's right, though. And, he's big race off the comeback. He can sit just off of it as well.
And that was a big race, considering that lengthy layoff and the price,
too.
He's a really interesting horse off of the claim, considering that he can get close to the pace. But you've always been a big fan of the Wolfman. He's been good to you throughout the years. 5-2-3-4 for Keith. I'll see if Pit Stop Man can get back to the winner's circle for the red-hot Kieran Barn. 2-4-7-3. We are 4 down. We've got 5 to go. The late value pick 5 is coming up, and we'll be back in a minute. Welcome back to Today at the Races. I'm Dan. He's Keith. Main track good. We're off the turf today, and we're getting set for race number 5. 7/8 of a mile on the main track. It's a maiden claimer, 10 down to 8. Maryland bred's eligible to run for the 12-5. Take out the bottom, the 8. Jose Can't See. This is the first leg of our late value pick 5. 12% low takeout. Get involved in the value pick 5. It really is a great way to maximize your dollar. And our friend and colleague Mackenzie Pfeiffer has a late value pick 5 ticket for us.
$16 ticket. She doesn't even need any help. I can afford that. If not, I'll go to my man Michael Tyler over there enjoying the day. Look at that. Harrah's New Orleans' favorite customer, Michael Tyler. I like it. Race number 5. She's going to kick it off here. 3, 4, 6, and 7. A little bit of a spread. Uncle Gray, an interesting price horse here for Tim Vick. A single in race number 6 with the 10. Play harder. Yeah, he's going to be awfully short today. Race 7 with the 6 and 13. Race 8, 4 and 5. Otello Be Better. Going to try to make that run from off the pace. And then race 999s. That's Hawkey's spot. The 5 and the 8. Wrapping it up there. That is Kilo Road Society Ball. I think that's all you got in race number 9.
That's right. Using the all ball.
She's got it covered in the 9th. It's a $16 Mac Viper Special.
We're going to start things off with race number 5. Phil Cap's got 2 strong entrants in here, in the 3, Percy, and the 6, Skylar's brother. We're going to go with Percy, a horse that was just in way too tough last time. I just consider Percy's 9-1 in his turf debut against Twain and Enzo. Twain came back to what? Place in a stakes race on turf at Pimlico, first time against winners. Enzo came back to win. Throw that race out. The start 2 starts back, going a mile and a 16th. This horse showed some good speed, was hard ridden on the turn. Doesn't seem like have a great burst of acceleration, but did stay on. I like those kind of horses at 7/8 of a mile, and I think Percy can win it from on or off the pace. I think it's going to sit just off.
He's shown a little bit more burst, it looks like, in the mornings. First time gelding on the dirt. He is reported second time gelding. So we're transitioning back to the main track. And I threw something out there, I guess, on social media. I don't have a whole social media presence, but we threw something out the other day. And yesterday, I'm talking about this stat for Phil Cap. Past 3 years on the dirt. Maidens, second start reported as a gelding. He is 4 for 13, 31%, 9 for 13 in the money. ROI close to $4. Yeah, Percy might just offer a little bit better value of the 2 Phil Capuanos.
Skylar's brother, though, was the best horse last time out, making his first start off of a lengthy layoff. The horse actually stumbled a bit at the start, but broke so well he immediately recovered, found a good spot pushing the pace in between horses. The jock found a nice spot in behind the duel turning for home, came up the inside, and just came out at the very end as he's going by the runner-up, bumped that horse, caused the disqualification. If Skylar's brother doesn't regress off that race, second off of a lengthy layoff, I just can see a really good trip coming outside, stalking, in the clear, the horse to beat.
I even think he could go to the front if he wants to, stretching out a furlong. This is a horse we liked a lot last time coming off the break. Many tears were shed up in the press box off of that DQ. Repeating, of course, third place finisher came back to gallop.
Uncle Gray is another horse going turf to dirt in here, and I think this horse just fits very well at the 10 down to 8 level. Last time on turf, draw a line through it. Last time on dirt, in the 25 down to 20. I thought ran okay. Didn't really run back to that big speed figure of 4 starts back. Has to prove that that speed figure is not a fluke. If it's not, and somehow Uncle Gray gets back to that 60 buyer, he's a threat at a price.
It's kind of like that horse I'm going to work around in here. If he's staying around that 6-1, 8-1 range, you know, I think it works. And a lot of times you got a trainer like Tim Beck, doesn't run a lot of horses, so you're thinking not a lot of horses in the barn. You worry when they drop. He's done well with this move. I've got him 3 for 15, 5 for 15 with these 50% drops over the last 5 years. ROI of 477. This is a horse that plays. You're going back his last 3 dirt races. He drew the rail, didn't have to come away the greatest, had to get in a position, make a couple moves in those races. He's my workaround horse in here if he stays at that kind of price.
Curious to see what we get from the number 1, Wrightsville, dropping in class with enough early speed to get up and on the pace. This horse got wired by a filly last time out, Meg. Wrightsville should get close. Again, it is a drop in class. The runner-up from that last race, Blow By Him, came back, won a 45,000 waiver maiden with a 63 buyer speed figure. So if Wrightsville can run, it's going to be at this level.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, he looked like he was going to be any kind after that debut run off the break, hasn't come back to it yet. It needs this drop.
3, 4, 6, 7 for Keith, 3, 6, 4, 5 for me. We'll see if Percy can get it done in race number 5. Race number 6, 5.5 furlongs. We are off the turf. Second level allowance with an optional claiming range 40 down to 32 for 3 and up. Take out the 1, the 2, the 4, the 5, the 7, and the 9. Play Harder is a horse with a lot of back ability. This is the first leg of our final 50-cent pick 4. We'll talk about Play Harder in a bit. This is the third pick 4 sequence of the afternoon. Don't forget about the late pick 4, especially if you're focusing on that value pick 5. Again, if you're playing the pick 4 today, it could be just a pick 3 because you got only 2 in the final leg.
You almost got yourself a free square in the last with that 2-horse race, the match race. Yeah, we both fall to Play Harder here, main track only. And let's go to the video spotlight. I want to thank Phil for getting this up for us today. Off the break, had to run into Haley's first notion, got away close to 8-1. But I'll tell you what, This was better than what I expected out of Play Hard. I thought he might need her. He ran very big.
First race off a 9-month layoff. The track seemed to be playing speed. Haley's First Notion is a really nice horse. And Play Harder made a good, strong run on the turn. Understandably going to flatten out, but still tries hard for second over a hard trier, Factor It In, who came back to win. It just looks like all the stars have aligned with the rain. Washed off, Play Harder, good outside post, with the back class, with the figure, the way the horse to beat.
Yeah, he looks like the speed of the speed. Maybe Where's Ray is a horse that you can use getting back to the main track. On the go back against Lesser had a big number. Maybe they're just going to go attack mode with Jan Rodriguez and try to separate early, but I think Play Harder can win this from wherever kind of Carlos Lopez wants to put him.
It is funny that Where's Ray hasn't run on dirt since April 5th, 2024, and all he did that day was win by 14 at 1-2 with a 79 Beyer speed figure. But guess what? The connections were right. This horse won immediately on the turf with a 90 Beyer speed figure. Is going to show some speed in this spot. What about Had to Have Him? This is a horse I've been waiting for on turf, and I can understand. He just has had no luck getting into races, scratches, weather situations. I think gelding and the layoff is going to work for Had to Have Him. A horse that notoriously is a bad lead changer in the stretch. This horse never got a break. From the start of his career, he ran for 1 year straight. I think the layoff is good for him. I think he might be more mature as a gelding, and I think he has sneaky speed, even on dirt. We saw that in the city of Laurel, where he was pushing the pace against stakes horses.
Absolutely. He's got some speed there, and I like that they're going to go ahead and give him a race today. I'm targeting him next time out on the grass, I will tell you that.
Little Lance was entered main track only, Keith, just like our top selection, the 10 Play Harder. This horse turned back to a sprint last time out, made up some late ground. He was in against Cyber Time in raging form, and again, it was a situation I thought speed did well, and he did well to get fourth.
Obviously, I think we know he's going to finish against this group. Maybe if things really get hot and contested with Where's Ray and Play Harder, maybe Had to Have Him goes. Yeah, I think he's the one that's going to be maybe Play Harder, going a little bit better. He's going to be moving at the wire.
Keith and I look at the race the same way. However, race 6, 10, 8, 6, and 3. Let's take a look at race number 7 in here. We're going 5.5 furlongs off the turf, state-sired allowance event. Take out the 1, the 3, the 7, 8, 9, and 12. J.G. Torrealba gets the mount on the 11, that being Bold Diversion. El Divino Nino is our top selection in this race. Another horse entered main track only. They tried turf with him last time out. It didn't work out. This horse really appreciated the wet track. 2 and 3 starts back, and is another horse tactical enough to stay close, but I think the wet track is the key. We don't want it to get too dry.
No, that is the kicker. Can we switch this to race 1, please? But no, Saxon's going to take so much playing here for Brittany Russell after chasing that Brad Cox runner on Preakness weekend. But El Divino needed something. They figured something out. This guy, the last 2 dirt tries on the wet track, huge effort. Dominant. I like the distance, 5.5. He's got that little pop move in him. He's going to use it today. You get more value here with the 5.
But Saxton is certainly the horse to beat for Brittany. This horse ran so well first off the claim in the Jimmy Wingfield, running second in a stakes race. Then just didn't run very well, but look who beat him. It's Hammer Time. He's one of the better 3-year-old Maryland breds out there, and this horse returned to form last time. That verifies a true stakes sprinter for Brad Cox from what we've seen from limited opportunities. And Saxton did all the dirty work, just pushing this horse on the attack on the turn. Still very game to hold second.
Yeah, I mean, he gave it a try. There's no doubt about it. It almost cost him second, but he gave it a try, and he's able to hold sway there late to just outfinish straight the water again. Today, tactics, again,
close.
Tracking, because Elvis himself, I think he's got only one way, and that's just go ahead and go.
Are you worried about a bounce returning off of a 15-day layoff after such a hard race against a tough horse?
Well, that's why I'm leaning a little bit at the El Divino, a little fresher animal. He ran hard last time, did Saxton.
Elvis himself is a horse with tremendous early speed. My one concern with Elvis himself is he has not been finishing off his races recently, and I just think he might be slightly better on a faster track. He might get it by this time.
Yeah, he might get it. You're right, though. He gave up a little bit too soon for me, to my liking, last time out.
5, 6, 10, 13 for Keith. 5, 6, 10, and 4. Cactus should be a prickly customer in race number 7, but maybe El Divino Nino can take him down. Race number 8 is the first leg of our late double. It is our feature race, and it is a good one. We're going 1 1/8. Conditioned allowance race, optional claiming price 55 down to 44. This field stays intact. Let's begin with our top selection in here. We're going to try to beat the favorite with Instant Coffee, a horse with a good amount of back class. Graded stakes winner at 2, graded stakes winner at 3, looking for his first win now in 2.5 years.
A purchase there for $110,000 at a recent sale by Jamie Ness, Super C Racing. Yeah, they put up 110. Yeah, I think getting back, new barn, back to Lasix. He's got the back class, got the back numbers. I'm just looking for a wake-up. Appears to be working forwardly at Parks. I think a 1.8 is just fine. I know he's 0 for 3 at this distance. My key is he going to be able to get close enough by the time they leave to 3/8? Because Otella looks to me, he and Capcom are going to get the jump on the close. But Instant Coffee, out of the 4 other than race, when you go back to November 24th, made a pretty decent run. 5-6 wide from the top of the stretch home. Slight hang late, but I'm expecting a big effort here off the purchase.
Yeah, beaten by the 2 favorites in that race where he earned a 93 Beyer speed figure 4 starts back. If he runs that number, he's a contender. But it's all about how the race shapes up. Michael Sanchez has been riding in very good form. I think he can keep Instant Coffee at least within striking range. The problem is Otello going to get loose in here? We do have a video spotlight for Otello's most recent performance, and he was very, very good.
Yeah, this was sharp. He didn't break the quickest.
Love the ride,
short
though.
of it, but just cruises up here, 3 deep into the first turn, and he is relaxed. I mean, he wants to go. You know, he's tugging a little bit, but the jock's doing a great job nursing and going to go ahead and make that little move to go ahead and clear off, drops to the inside, and once he does, he relaxes beautifully on the front end going into the far turn, and when push comes to shove and he needed to respond, he did it. You're going to see the final stretch run here, and this guy is just going to go comfortably, I think, well within himself. Yeah, under-urging, but it was never in doubt.
And this is a 1 3/16 race. He just seemed to really appreciate stretching his speed out to this distance. He always finds a little bit more at the end. He's just a well-bred sort that looks to be coming into his own. I think he has more upside potential than our top pick with only 8 lifetime starts under his girth. And again, we're all going to be rooting for Miguel Clement. Christophe, just a super, super trainer, a great guy, and we're rooting for the Clement barn through this difficult time.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think Otello here, if he kind of gets out there, if he clears down the backside, you see a quarter and 24 and change, a half, going to be 47 and change, 48. It could be over, but yeah, for everything that the family has gone through, you've got to be pulling for Otello here.
Troy Singh's done a very nice job with Capcom, a horse that's won his last 2 starts. He's been stepping up in class each and every time. Now they'll stretch him back out to a 1.125. I'm really not too concerned about the extra distance. What I like about Capcom is he's tactical. Now, he might be stuck between a rock and a hard place, Keith, because if Otello goes to the front, is there a chance this horse is on a hard chase, and now he's got to reel in Otello, and let's say he does, here come the closers.
And that's the key. Do you move too soon? Kind of talking about like Saxon in that sprint in the race prior we were just talking about. You've got to time it just right. I mean, you may have to give up a little bit here into the turn, but sit chilly. You've got to save for that last 3/8 of a mile. If you move a little too soon, get tangled up, say, by the half-mile pole, and then you're kind of battling, you're pushing a good horse in Otello. It might cost you through that last 1/8 of a mile.
And another horse easy to root for is the 3, It's Sizzling Time. Valerie Smith did a tremendous job with It's Sizzling Time, winning the John B. Campbell $100,000 stakes race last year. This one's got to deal, though, with a long, long layoff.
Yeah, I have to take a wait-and-see approach. Armando R. trying to kind of ramp things up. Union Fleet, I mean, I think he can get in a fairly close position by the time they hit the far turn, but can he finish up at a 1.125? I just think the road's going to go through Otello. He's going to be able to nurse. I need some improvement here in Instant Coffee. I'm going to bank on Ness here. They paid $110 for this guy. Let's see if he can get back to form.
We'll close things out with race number 9, 5.5 furlongs, off-turf heat, 40 down to 32, beaten claimer, 4 fillies and mares. It's not exactly War Admiral versus Seabiscuit, but we've got ourselves a match race that's kind of intriguing from a pace standpoint. Kilo Road has been showing some closing ability recently, but earlier in the career had speed. I think Society Ball, though, with the blinkers on, is just a little bit quicker for Brittany. But I don't think it's a foregone conclusion.
No.
The last race, though, was okay over a wet track. Mid-moving into the race, flattening out, just seems well-entered.
Yeah, first off the claim, past couple years, BTR 8 for 18, 3 for 3 with his owner. So Again, Society Ball blinkers going back on at the break. Kilo Road's interesting. She had some speed on the go back. It's interesting how she's kind of changed her tactics, but it's, she's not going to let this one get too far away, I can tell you that.
There's no way you can allow that to happen because it'll be good night Irene if that's the case. Kilo Road, though, I like the fact we're going to see her again. She's been plagued by layoff lines recently, so this is the second start of the form cycle, and she showed a little bit of late life last time out when taking some money, going 3/4. We'll bet a frosty beverage on this one.
Okay.
8-5 for you, Keith. 5-8 for me in the finale on Saturday at Laurel Park. Best play time, who are you going with?
Best play time. Looking for a little value. Maybe we'll get it. The Wolfman, I think, obviously is going to come down off the morning line with a couple of scratches. We need you to break. Toledo, let's get him out of the gate. Bandbox, a little moisture in the track. Pop and go.
Let's look at my value play in here. We might need another frosty beverage. Race number 4.
Oh.
Pit Stop Man, the number 2. We'll see if maybe somebody puts a little bit of heat on the Wolfman. What I like about these two horses are they're consistent. They should at least give us a thrill, and we'll see who gets to the wire first. So double beverage bet in here.
Yeah, last time we did this, Dan, we had the exacta. They ran 1-2. So go ahead and box those two. And you might come out looking pretty good.
And I still owe you a drink.
Yeah, you do. That's all right. I'm not going to hold it again. Yeah, you Buckets, you're doing a good job.
9 races on today's card at Laurel Park. The main track is currently listed as good. We are off the turf. 25 minutes to post. Callie Francois, Mackenzie Pfeiffer, and Dave Rodman will take you through the afternoon's action. Let's go up to the great Dave Rodman, the voice of Maryland Racing, for scratches and changes.
All right, good luck.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Laurel Park. Track is rated good, and we're off the turf today. Here's a look at your Laurel Park changes for our 9-race card. First race off the turf, going to the main track in a mile, second wire finish. Scratch 1, Transactional. Scratch 3, Beltane. Scratch 4, Addicted to You. Please note number 5, Whiskey in the Jarro, ran with cheek pieces last out. No cheek pieces today. Scratch 6, Strancino. Scratch 10, Just for Luck. And scratch 11, Roja Redemption. Second race, scratch number 6, Love to Eat. In the third race, scratch number 1, Juice. Added workout to number 2, Wonderkin. May 4th, here at Laurel Park, 4 furlongs, 50 breezing from the gate. Number 8, St. Grace, jockey Johan Rosado, 2 over. Scratch number 10, Mun Can Run. Fourth race, start of the Chesapeake, pick 6, scratch 1, Minister for Magic, scratch 6, Midnight Renegade. Jockey on the 8, Tenax, Weston Hamilton. Weston Hamilton on number 8. Fifth race, number 2, White Blue, 1 over, scratch number 8, Jose Can't Say. Fifth race, scratch the 8. The sixth race, 5.5 on the main track off turf. Scratch 1, Swill. Scratch 2, Great Idea. Scratch 4, Odinson. Scratch the 5, Outlaw Country. Scratch 7, Tidewater. Scratch 9, Stormy Flight. Race 6. Seventh race, off turf, 5.5 on the main track. Scratch 1, Fear Nothing. Scratch 2, Change My World. Scratch 3, Enduring Gold. Scratch 7, Cactus. Scratch 8, Ride Diggity Dog. Scratch 9, Noah Chance. Note the jockey on the 11. Bold Diversion will be J.G. Torrealba. J.G. Torrealba, jockey on the 11. Scratch number 12, Call Me Andy. Eighth race, no changes in the 8th. Ninth race, off turf, 5.5 on the main track. Scratch 1, Ticine, 2 Crone. Scratch 3, Lady Ensign, for Feeling So Lucky. Scratch 6, Sweeter Than Whiskey. Scratch 7, Spoils of War. Scratch 9, Wonder Girl. Scratch 10, Marion Cross. And the 11, My Girl Ginger scratch. Track good off the turf. Value pick 5 plays, early and late, 12% takeout. 21 minutes to post time. Good luck this afternoon at Laurel Park.